it's Judy Carter, and congratulations for making one of the best decisions of your life to take this course and learn how to become a paid speaker. Now, in this Module 1, what we're going to do is we're going to find your message to become a paid speaker. This is not to become a TED Talk speaker. This is not a personal storytelling that you're going to do at a church. This is to get paid for your message. So I am going to guide you to have a commercial message. And what this commercial message is going to do, it's going to sell you. It's going to sell what you do and make somebody interested. I can't tell you how many people tell me, I'm a speaker, or I've written a book, and I go, tell me what it's about. And they drone on, and oh, well, you know, when I was a kid and this thing happened and that, and I'm like, just want to stick a pencil in my eyes because it's boring. You have to tell your message in such a way that it really gives value to your audience, to the person listening. It's about the audience. And I'm going to show you in these 16 modules how to end up with a 1 to 2 minute pitch of the message of you. And it's going to sound something like this from my student, Nina Segura, who took this course, came up with her message, turned it into a video, and this is what it sounds like.
You know how some business leaders have a hard time getting their staff to think like business owners? So they end up saying to themselves, I guess if I want anything done, I better do it myself. Rather than designing their legacy as a leader that supports both them and their family. You start your day with a great to-do list and it gets sabotaged by another fire that must be put out because you're the only one that seems to see the fire. From my experience working 17 years at American Express leading global programs, as well as being the founder of Metaspire, responsible for worldwide transformational change for companies like HP and JP Morgan Chase, I speak on leadership, change, and strategic planning to keep your best customers. I show you how to be a super leader, a key influencer who expands time and money rather than time and money controlling you. I show you how to transform one-time buyers to long-term relationships, and I show you how to retain your best talent so that everyone in your work environment says, just like the name of my book, every day is Friday. And most of my clients love to follow up my keynotes with my trainings, but this is no ordinary training. I use experiential learning exercises to sustain your momentum so that you keep your skills fresh and alive.
Yes, good, succinct, and compelling. And the results are she's getting paid. So I created 16 video lessons in Module 1, but I realized that people are way too busy to look through 16 videos. So I'm going to give you a condensed version of it right now in this video. And I'm going to suggest if you want to learn more about a certain element of it, then I'm going to refer you to the videos. So when you get to the message of you, you're going to find Module 1, which you've already found. You're going to continue the course and start the course. And here you're going to find Lesson 1, welcome. 2, this is what you need for this course. There's a little pop quiz. Here's some elements of the speaking industry. And then we get to Module 5, and that's where you are going to download the message of you formula. And you can download it by right-clicking on it and you go save link as. That way, when you open it up in Adobe Acrobat, it will save. So that's what you're going to do. This is the message of you formula, which you've downloaded, and now you're Adobe Acrobat. And it says, it answers this question, what do you speak on? And this is going to be your answer. And it asks, who is your audience? What challenges does your speech address? And your credibility. This is where we are going to start, right here on your credibility, where I ask you to insert your professional experience. So you might want to go along with this on me. Again, if you want to look more at this, you can go on to lesson 6. So your credibility. So Nina says she puts up as a certified leadership coach via ICF, former global manager responsible for WW Communications. I thought that was Weight Watchers. She works for corporations. I did training for large companies. I'm a black belt in karate. I've got a BA from college. And then I found my own company where I lead global programs. And okay, so what I asked Nina to do here is to give me companies I know. I don't know what CSF. I don't know what WW. So then and then how many years did you work at these companies? And because she says I worked for years for corporates. What corporates? So if you look at this, this is what we ended up with in the final document, where we got specifically where she worked. Let's look at the differences here so you can do this on your own. She worked 17 years in American Express. What did she do there? Led global programs as well as being the founder. Because I asked her, you started your own company. What's the name of your company? Get specific, people, but be condensed. And responsible for worldwide transformation for companies such as HP and JP Morgan. So starting out here, you want to list as many credentials as you can. And then slowly but surely you start to delete them until you just end up with the essence of what credibility do you have? Who paid you to do what you do? Now, I have to tell you here, everybody's going to go, I hate what I did at corporate. I hate working. I don't have any. You start digging, you'll find it. All right, now that you got your credibility, what are you going to talk about? Now, a lot of people go, I want to talk about transformation. Well, what have you done in that field that someone's, paid you to do? Nothing. Well, I don't care if you have the best story. You can still get your story out in your speech, but you have to talk on a bookable topic. When you come to this chapter, you will find a list of bookable topics. And so what Nina picked to speak on was 3 things, okay? So first she said, showing people how I can lead with confidence. That's not a bookable topic. The bookable topics you will find on agents, speaker bureaus who book speakers, okay? So they have to be very specific. And when you go to that video on bookable topics, you'll see that leadership, change, and strategic planning were on that list. So I had Nina pick something that was on that list. So establishing your credibility is lesson 6. And then finding your bookable topic, more information, lesson 7. And then we can even enhance your credibility. If you are thinking, oh, I've got nothing. I'm a nobody. I'm a fraud. We all feel that way. Don't worry about it. Because lesson 8, you can enhance your credibility. All right, but let's move on. I'm not doing this in the order of this document because first you have to have credibility in order to get speaking gigs. And you have to speak on a topic that other people book. So after that, I ask you to go over here to what challenges are you going to fix? Now, over here, we list the problems that the audience is facing. So obviously here, if Nina over here is talking about leadership, change, and strategic planning, and if her experience has been working in the corporate market, she's going to have to list some of the problems that people in the corporate market have. All right, so let's just go back over here. What challenges does your speech address? Something is only a challenge if it affects somebody's money, if it's affecting their health or their relationship. So here's what Nina writes. Nina writes they are stressed. They're having a hard time topping last year's goal. They feel stuck in their career. They're having difficulty motivating their team. Now, if you continue on and look at the chapter on the lesson on the problems, which is lesson 9, you're going to find that not only do I want you to list the problems, but the consequences of these problems. So they're stressed. What are they stressed about? Nina, can you get more specific? And then she put, okay, they're stressed because they are having a hard time getting their staff to think like business owners. All right, so she's getting much more specific. This part is hard, but this is where you really connect with the person who's listening to your pitch. All right, also what you want to put in here are something called act outs. Here's where I asked Nina, instead of saying they're having a hard time motivating their team and they're stuck over here, I had her say, so they end up saying to themselves, I guess if I want anything done, I better do it myself. This is where the person listening nods and go, yeah, I felt like that. So you just don't want to get bullets of the audience's problem. You want to act them out. And she says, rather than designing their legacy of a leader that supports them and their family, now she's relating it to a problem that, boy, you're not going to be able to support your family. Then get more specific. So she says, you start the day with a great to-do list, but it gets sabotaged by another fire that has to be put out because you're the only one who seems to see the fire. Now here the person listening is going, yes, we have that problem. All right, so you need to list the problems that your speech is going to address, because here's the key. People only hire speakers because they're having a problem. And when you talk to them, you can get very specific with the problems that your speech is going to address. So check out lesson 9 for more information on this. Now that you put in the audience's problem, and by the way, you can overwrite this, list everything. Next, we go on to who's your audience. This is where you need to find your audience. Who are you going to speak to? So in the beginning of this, Nina was going, well, I guess I'm going to speak to people in the workplace. And I go, well, you're showing people how to be better leaders. Who are you going to speak to? She goes, managers. And I go, why? Let's put you at the level of business leaders. So who is your speech for? All right. So Nina put here, you know how, and you see how it says right here, you know how. These, I give you the exact script. You just have to fill in what's pertinent to you. So do you know how some business leaders, all right? So what is your audience? Don't just say women. What women? And pick an audience that listens to speakers. So you can't put, you know how divorced people, when do divorced people get together? When do they pay to get together to listen to a speaker? They don't, because they're divorced. They have nobody to go to with. So put somebody in your audience. Get niche on this, right? Because then you can really target your market. You know, nurse leaders, dentistry, people who work in the dental office. I mean, get specific who your speech is for. And there's more on that in lesson number 10, because this is about finding paying audiences. I have some additional videos and this video section right now, which is about connecting to the audience. And that's lesson 12, which goes a little deeper into connecting with your audience. And when I mean connecting with the audience, that means connecting in this pitch or connecting with the audience via your website, using the right language to really connect, and we connect through their problem. All right, so then we're going to go to 13, which is your heart story, okay? So this is your heart story. Some of you might need to put this in, some of you don't. So Nina started with this. As you can see, this is based on my personal work experience that after working 17 years working for American Express, When my department was closed, I had a choice to look for another position or accept the severance package. This was at a time when my brother had cancer, and I realized that my work was so all-consuming, it separated me from my family. I chose to take care of my brother, and it was then that I committed myself transforming the workplace where we can all have it. And we don't have to sacrifice our family for our paycheck. And that's why I speak on leadership change and strategic planning. Well, we actually ended up leaving this out of her pitch because it kind of took away from the pitch. But this was included when she speaks, and this became her heart story. So later in the next module, writing your speech, I will show you how to take this information, but this might or might not be in your pitch. So that's going to be up to you. Okay, 2 more sections. The results that you give. This is in lesson 14, finding your rock solid pitch, because the results. What results do you create? This is also called in corporate speak, your takeaways. What am I going to walk away for in a 1-hour speech? Now, Nina originally put here, I create business success, show how to be a lawyer, how to maintain and sustain buyers, lower your retention rate, to become an influencer, an agent for positive change. Well, we kind of changed this to just be a little more succinct with this. And what we ended up with, we changed how to create business success to how to be a super leader, a key influencer. A lot of these results we got from Google Ads to see what are people searching for. So we really found out what people want, and we made these her results. And then we got a little more detailed. Someone who expands time and money rather than letting time and money controlling you. I show you how to transform one-time buyers to long-term relationships and how to retain your best talents so everyone in your work environment says, and we got the name of her book in there, just like the name of my book, Every Day is Friday. These results that you give, first of all, they have to be results that you can give in 60 minutes. So you can't go, I'm going to make everybody happy and nobody will ever be depressed again. You can't do that. You can't deliver it. It shows you're a phony. So can you show how to be a super leader? Yeah, you can do some tips on that. Can you show how to be a key influencer? Yeah, that's good. Now, these results have to match the problem. So here she has, problem is, I want you to think like you own this business. And that kind of matches with becoming a key influencer. So every problem has a result that you can give. So again, if you can't, try a draft on this on your own from watching this video, but if you can't, please go to video 14 to finding your rock solid pitch. Next, how are you going to do all of these things? This is discovering your unique methodology. So you're going to do this, and she first says, by presenting a keynote or a training using dynamic experiential learning exercises that include physicality, improv techniques, and specific career change and action steps. So your employees say, yeah, every day feels like Friday. So what we did was we changed this methodology to like, hey, why don't you sell a training to go along with your keynote so you can get more money? And so what she ended up saying that most of her clients love to follow up her keynotes with her trainings. And so a lot of people will have here like, how are you going to do this? And I kind of like to tell people to use words like interaction, audience participation. I use a lot of humor. I tell some amazing, inspiring stories that get people motivated. So, what is your methodology? You might have a 5-step program for doing this. So this is where you tell the how you're going to get these results. All right. And so that is in lesson 15. So I hope this abbreviated video creates a 1 to 2 minute pitch, what you do. So let's watch it again. And now that you know the specific steps, I'm going to put them in underneath.
You know how some business leaders have a hard time getting their staff to think like business owners? So they end up saying to themselves, I guess if I want anything done, I better do it myself, rather than designing their legacy as a leader that supports both them and their family. You start your day with a great to-do list, and it gets sabotaged by another fire that must be put out because you're the only one that seems to see the fire. From my experience working 17 years at American Express leading global programs, as well as being the founder of Metaspire, responsible for worldwide transformational change for companies like HP and JP Morgan Chase, I speak on leadership, change, and strategic planning to keep your best customers. I show you how to be a super leader, a key influencer who expands time and money rather than time and money controlling you. I show you how to transform one-time buyers to long-term relationships, and I show you how to retain your best talent so that everyone in your work environment says, just like the name of my book, every day is Friday. And most of my clients love to follow up my keynotes with my trainings, but this is no ordinary training. I use experiential learning exercises to sustain your momentum so that you keep your skills fresh and alive.
So now you try it. Fill out the message of you formula. Fill it out several times when you get stuck. Go to the message of you and watch one of the videos that was suggested where you get stuck. And next time someone says, so what do you speak on? You will have a professional response that will engage others.